Are you tired of your city falling apart? But do you know why your city is falling apart? The answer to your question is deposition, weathering, and erosion. Weathering is the process of where it's transporting sediment and your environment is breaking it down. Deposition is the change of a state to a gas. And then the last one is erosion. It's just wearing away.
The agents of erosion are gravity, water, and wind. We will be focusing mainly on gravity first.
An example of gravitational erosion is the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Mass wasting is the transportation of sediments downhill using only the force of gravity. Two types of mass wasting is creep and slump. Slump is very slow mass wasting when creep tends to be much faster.
Now we will be focusing on wind erosion. Wind erosion happens in deserts and is the second most biggest type of erosion. Wind erosion happens in deserts because of the very loose soil. The soil is loose because of the very little moisture and little vegetation.
Lighter sediments are blown away when harder sediments are here to stay, called desert pavement.
One of the many things that can happen in deserts is abrasion.
Hello.
Okay, Mr. Sturgis, this is our interview on the documentary on erosion. And we're here to ask you a couple of questions on erosion. The first one starting with, do you think that in the past 25 years has erosion increased, decreased, or stayed the same?
What do you think?
Personally, I think that it has increased just because I've started learning about it, but I don't have any science to back that up.
Well, it depends on how smart we've learned over the years. But back a long time ago when they started clearing land for agricultural, then they realized that, hey, wait a second, the wind's blowing all of our dirt away. So they got a little bit smarter. They put up wind screens that didn't clear out as much. But in other countries where they're going through the process of development now, they're wiping out rainforest and so forth. So they're learning the lessons that maybe we learned a few decades ago. So I guess it all depends on what part of the country, what part of the world you're in.
And the next question is now I know that vegetation affects the amount of erosion, but do you think that the animal life affects the amount of erosion?
How many of you know what a wild boar is?
Pig.
What?
Wild pig.
It's a wild pig. And what do wild pigs like to do?
Dig holes.
They what?
Dig holes.
Yes. What do you call that?
Burrows.
Like, is that rutting or rooting or rutting? They dig holes. And I never knew what a wild boar was. I've seen them on television. People like hunting them down, or the wild boars hunting people down. But we owned some property where I used to work at the South Florida Water Management District. We owned property we got 20,000 acres up there near Lake Okeechobee, and we were preserving it. But there was wild boars on the land. And so they would dig with their nose. I guess they're going after little animals. And I would go up there, because I was cleaning up a fuel tank site, and I would go up there and go jogging. Have you ever gone jogging?
Yeah.
Do you have to have smooth ground to jog on?
Most of the time.
Yeah, because what happens if you step on someone's ankle when you're playing basketball?
You break
Twist
your
it.
ankle.
So there's this smooth, natural ground up there where wild boars have totally destroyed it. I'm talking about, it's like they were farming it. They had burrows going forever in all directions. It was so bad I couldn't run, because every step you were stepping in an uneven part of the earth. So some animals destroy the land.
All right.
And if you didn't have enough food for them, they would probably eat all the grass and that kind of stuff too.
All right. And our final question is, in your opinion, do you
one
think
more
that...
thing, see? I'm sorry, I was thinking animals. People are animals. We cause erosion too.
People are animals.
Okay. Sorry.
Right. So the last one is, in your opinion, do you think that there could be a type of technology built to stop erosion?
Sure! Don't you?
Yeah, but I mean, there's always wind and water, and some people say we can't control the elements.
Well, let's talk about this example I have on the board.
Water.
A boat. It's like Lake Okeechobee. Let's pretend like this is Lake Okeechobee, and right above me is the big levee that surrounds Lake Okeechobee. And then over on this side is people. We're living, we're farming. And during the hurricanes, all the water over here started sloshing back and forth, and some of it came over on top. But the sloshing back and forth would cause erosion on this side. And the people over here got nervous, right? Because if this levee bursted through, then you'd have a lot of flooded damages. So they think, okay, what can we do to make this better? Well, the first thing is you would think you need to have grass there, right? So you got to maintain the grass over here. And then they think of a better technology. What if we make some artificial grass and lay that across there that would help prevent erosion? Like maybe concrete or some kind of plastic mat that you can put into the soil. So they think of ways through technology in helping shore up this levee so it doesn't and flood the little houses over on that side. That would be one example.
All right, thank you very much.
Now we will be focusing on wind erosion. Terrorists can also hide in sand dunes. Wind erosion happens usually in deserts and non-ville. One of the many things that can happen in deserts is abrasion.
That didn't work.